A moment of your time, Captain. Your orders to patrol the surrounding lands has attracted the attention of a former bailiff named Ziffer.
Well met, Captain, well met. Your Kana here is right. I've been looking to start a small village, and what you've done here, well, I think the land will flourish with you in charge. If you ask me, you've got more sense than many a lord, so I...
Ziffer wants us to sign a village charter allowing him to start a community here. You are a knight, and this is your land, so the decision is yours. There are, Captain. Outside the keep's borders, bandits, beasts, and monsters wait. Villages offer tempting targets for some of them, and we'll need to continue our patrols to make sure they remain safe.
We're sort of counting on that, Captain. If things get too rough. Most of us are farmers, although a few of us have some training with weapons and the like. If it gets too rough, they'll move to safer land, even if it's less fertile than the patch we're looking at.
I fear I am not the best equipped to answer that. But
a charter determines what duty is owed by the village folk and what duty is owed by the lord. If you were a lord, duties owed by you is what I mean. Regardless, you get to carry out the lord's tax and we get your protection. I wouldn't have even come here if you hadn't made clear that you mean to make your lands a better place.
Ziffer's accounting is correct, Captain.
Certainly, Captain, certainly! Essentially, what I already told you. You protect the land, and we'll pay our taxes right and proper.
The only thing remaining, Captain, is whether you'll sign their charter and allow the village to form on our lands.
No! No, Captain, there isn't. That's not the way this sort of thing is done. You won't regret this, Captain. If any of your patrols are near the village, they can expect a warm welcome, and you too.
The keep has already come a long way. We need to patrol the land regularly to keep the village secure. Especially right now. Otherwise, they'll leave.
I see the moon has been at your back. You look well. You lived in the human lands too long to think this of me. I had hoped that your journeys would nurture wisdom. The mare has grown dark, and many villages needed help in leaving before it was too late. And I have sought the scent on the breeze to learn of the Dark Hunter, King of Shadows. More can still be learned in the mare, but I have discovered something and had to tell you at once.
I heard one of the scouts was asking about me. Oh, well met. You're Dagon, aren't you? Your son has...
I am Dagon, yes. And you are Eleni, of the Circle of the Mare.
Once of the Circle, yes. What do you want?
It does concern her. It concerns you both. As I hounded the trail of the Dark Hunter and his minions, I came across something I thought lost. The druids of our lands, the Circle of the Mare, still live.
That's impossible. You're mistaken. If they were alive, I would know.
I can only venture to the swamp for brief periods of time. The reeds and waters feast on the living now. I followed the druids, and they had a ritual I think sustained them, even in the claimed lands.
The Circle! They must have found a way to restore part of the mare. Keep it from the influence of the shadows. If so, we need to find them. They can tell us more about what's happening in the mare than anyone. And if we can get them to ally with us, we may even be able to stop what the King of Shadows is doing to the land itself. That was my thought as well. Thank you for understanding.
Then you must make haste at once, if this is your course of action. No gratitude is necessary. We are at war and it must be done. I will mark the location on your map. As for now, I have other duties in the defense of the Sword Coast and this keep, and I must see to them.
Your father's not one for showing emotion, is he? It's difficult to see how he raised you, and you turned out so different. He certainly did. I, for one, am pleased with the results. Regardless, we need to find the circle. But as for reaching the location, that could be difficult.
I thought I heard the cries of a damsel in distress. Someone had to fill Chandra's role, eh?
Bishop, this doesn't concern you, so stop spying on us.
My dear, with you around, it pays to be extra watchful. I like to keep an eye out to make sure you aren't trying to play our leader for a fool. And because you don't always fasten your robes as tightly as you should, sometimes I catch a glimpse of other secrets.
They're in the mare, along the northwestern reaches, near the settlements the orcs attacked many years ago during their incursion into Neverwinter.
I suspected that might be one of the places. As for the incursions, it wasn't just orcs. That's near an area the King of Shadows isn't likely to have claimed. Yet. Might be a good staging area to look for your dead druid friends.
Dagon says they're alive.
Maybe for now. Still, if you want to go, I can guide you to a safe port on the edge of the marsh.
All right. That would be welcome.
Save your gratitude until we get there and see the truth. But we better leave soon. Something tells me those friends of yours may have to move around a lot if they want to avoid the shadows.
Yes. Bishop's probably right.
All right then. I'll set out now. I'll start scouting the path and join up with you only when need be. It'll save us all a lot of time.
Pardon me, Captain, but if I could just, have a moment of your time...
If you don't want a dagger between your ribs, I suggest you ask for alms elsewhere.
Captain, Mayor Ziffer is here. He's brought men with him.
We've started building our homes thanks to you, and some of the young men here wanted to join your grey cloaks. They're good men, and donning the cloak would be a good profession for them.
We've accepted men that are in worse shape than these. They could be turned into soldiers.
That's wonderful, Captain. Many of the villagers already look up to your grey cloaks. I'm sure more men will come when the village grows.
I look forward to training the newest recruits.
I am listening.
What?
Captain, a moment of your time. We caught one of the Grey Cloaks, Sergeant Dobson, accepting bribes from a caravan master. Dobson, explain yourself to the captain.
Captain, I'm sorry it's come down to this. It's true merchants sometimes pay a little extra to speed along the process. It's almost standard practice.
Not while wearing my cloak, Sergeant. Pardon. Assuming the captain agrees with me.
Some of the trade laws are too restrictive. The caravan master wanted us to ease up on some of the older laws. We're supposed to confiscate everything from technically, because some lord a century dead had a feather up his... well, you get the idea. The Grey Cloaks don't receive much of a stipend, and customs like this make it easier on us and the merchants.
And are you sure that's all he's trading in? If you don't search for contraband, it could be anything. In my opinion, this sort of behavior has to be eliminated to ensure order. But the decision is yours. Exactly my thoughts, Captain. Dobson, turn in your cloak and your final stipend. The captain's Grey Cloaks must obey the laws, and not just the convenient ones.
Aye, Kana.
Thank you, Captain. They're back.
It's me, Captain. You got the letter about the King of Shadows, right? Brother Maxwell and I have had some fine adventures since then. We're hoping you have another quest for us.
Don't forget Huan and Condril.
Of course, and them too. So, do you have any jobs for us?
Choose your words carefully, Captain. With this lot, a misplaced word could send them to the 9 hells.
Ilfon Empire, you say? Guardian to boot? We have a new quest.
You really should let the captain finish.
Candrel, Juan, prepare the horses. We ride immediately.
Don't you think we should ask?
We've tarried here enough, Brother Maxwell.
Yes, Darid. Sorry again about this.
Hopefully, they'll stay out of too much trouble.
I am listening.
What?
I am listening.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Let me evoke rain.
Yes.
I suppose so.
You can almost feel the shadows in the air. If you stay still for too long, it's like they start clutching at you, trying to drag you down. Whatever the circle did, they must have found a way to shield themselves from it. If we can find out how they've done it, then we can reach the Vale of Mer Delane. I'm certain of it.
Let's keep moving. It's not much farther, right?
Here's the gathering place. Now, Hold on. Something's happening. I can just make it out.
I feel more at peace with each passing day. I know you sense it as well, Naven. Will silence be your only answer?
Silence and contemplation is my only peace in this place. Do not forget, I am your captive, Vashni.
We keep you here because we believe in the Circle. In time you will see that we are right. And when the shadow has passed, you will feel one with the land again.
This isn't the mare anymore. You treat the shadow as if it were a passing mist. You fail to see how it now hangs upon you, upon this whole place.
We are caretakers of this land, and we cannot abandon it.
We're caretakers of a graveyard. Free me from this prison, and let's stop the decay from spreading.
Elders? Is it you? Elders, forgive me for not seeking you out sooner. I thought you had all died in the claimed lands. How did you...
Who are the ones who follow you? Eleni, who are they?
They are my allies, my friends. They helped me reach here.
They have the stench of civilization and war upon them. As do you.
Our path took us to Neverwinter and through many battles. But this is the one from West Harbor, Elders. The one I had been watching.
The Shardbearer? You have brought the Shardbearer here?
She cannot seem to tear her eyes from him, which was the problem before, I believe.
I was tasked to watch you as you grew up in West Harbor. The Circle asks that I observe you, for strange events seem to occur around you, and I had reasons of my own.
Yet she could not turn away from you, from civilization. She would vanish to the border of the mare and watch you for days upon days, weeks, and then into months. A circle is not complete when one of us is missing, or is too distracted with the trappings of civilization or its people.
Thank you. I am glad that we are together in this. Still, I must answer for my actions.
A circle is not complete when one of us is missing, or is too distracted with the trappings of civilization or its people.
Elders, please! I did not intend...
And even now, you defend yourself rather than admitting your negligence.
She might as well be one of the harbormen, and have shared their fate.
Your fascination with the Shardbearer meant that we were less aware of the changes coming to this land until they were upon us. We are fortunate this time that the land itself has chosen to speak. Can you not feel it in the air? A great storm is coming. It will rage across this land and scour clean the corruption of Neverwinter, of Luskin, of all civilization.
The King of Shadows. So you know the threat.
You think that you can give name to such a force? As if the winds were to care or think.
Shadows are a part of the cycle of life and death, just as we all are. We do not all have such narrow views of nature. Your home was cleansed, as Neverwinter shall be. Your people did not belong, preying at the edges of Merdelane like scavengers. Who are you to ask of us? You carry within you the very symbol for your civilization's capacity for destruction.
Elders, this King of Shadows, it poses a threat to us all. not just cities and towns.
Have you ever seen this King of Shadows?
No.
Have you spoken with it?
No.
Then what is this king, other than a story used to explain forces greater than ourselves?
I am a captive here, Shardbearer. A captive because I refuse to resign myself to madness. Eleni, the shadow is anything but natural. I don't know if Mare Delane can be saved, but I know that we cannot accept it. We must not...
Perhaps I have misjudged your value, Naven. For a druid of power, living within the folds of a tree is nothing. As the land changes, we must change with it, Eleni. Stop clinging to what the mare was, and accept it for what it is now. Your friends will never see as we do, but it is not too late for you. Come back with us and help us weather this storm to its completion.
Do you truly think what is coming is for the best? You're right. They're speaking madness.
Then you are lost to us forever. I am sorry, Eleni, but we have no choice. And you, Shardbearer, you have been allowed to spread your influence for far too long.
Follow my lead. Tosus form.
Let me lead the way. You follow behind.
pack mule remove this burden.